Hello and welcome to our CM stage session. And today I'm joined with Mandy Richardson from Naturally Learning. Mandy has got, I think Mandy, you're probably one of the most popular people that I know in terms of within the childcare sector when it comes to events and when it comes to seeing you at events, because you're always surrounded by wonderful people. So Mandy, if you don't mind just introducing yourself to everybody today, and just giving them a bit of a brief about, who you are, and actually what you do.
Yeah, I'm Mandy Richardson. I am the owner, CEO of a group of nurseries in Cornwall. We have 7 nurseries that we're called Naturally Learning. We are very different in our approach, although I think a lot of people are beginning to change their approach as well and becoming more similar as we go along. And yeah, a lot of work done in nature-based outdoors. We have 2 forests and any number of beaches that you would like. I don't own the beaches, but we have a little share in them because they belong to everybody.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. I mean, it's in terms of Naturally Learning. I think I've every time I've kind of looked at what your settings and what you do, whether it's on social media, whether it's on your website, it's rather attractive from a point of view of someone that I was living in a big town at the time, and I was kind of looking at what you were doing. It's just like the complete opposite of my style of living back a few years ago.
Yeah.
How do you find it? How do you find I guess people that are potentially from other areas that just look at you and think, how on earth do you do that? How on earth does that work? I mean, how do you find it in terms of people's perception when they come to you?
And I think I like to describe us a bit like Marmite. You either love us or you really don't, and that is fine. And I don't try and convince people. Certainly parents. If parents come and look around, you buy into it or you don't.
Yeah.
And I think a parent who's trying to convince themselves that this is the life they want, but they don't really feel it, they probably shouldn't come, because they're going to find every problem is going to be tenfold.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to suggest to people that, as lovely as they are, maybe they don't want to come to us, and it's fine. No bad feelings, because there's lots of choice. Other educators, other people in the business, again, either love it or hate it. A lot of people love it when they come and look around.
Yeah.
But I don't think I could live it, which is fine. I've got a wonderful friend who I met through the nursery owners, the day nursery owners group, and she came down to visit. She bought herself a pair of pink sparkly wellies for the occasion, because she didn't own wellies, and she came in. She went, "Yeah, I don't get it." And I said, "It's okay. You don't have to." She said, "It's really not for me."
Yeah.
And I said, "No, it's fine. But she lives in London. Why should she?" It's okay. You do have to embrace it. It's full on. The outdoor bit is full on. The indoor, the other approach. Obviously we've got the nature approach, but it's more than just that. It's the way we play and how everything is open-ended. We really don't have what you would call a traditional resource. We have a few open-ended resources that we purchase from all the wonderful providers out there, all the suppliers, but you wouldn't find a traditional, you wouldn't find a train set, you won't find a home corner. We don't have those things, but we still do all the play around role play and small world. We do it, but in a different way.
I guess the parents then that come to you and the parents that love what you do, in terms of the way you kind of have that open environment. I mean, who comes? Who's attracted to that, in terms of you say people love, and some people don't as much, or don't get it. But what about those parents that do get it? What are they coming to you for, I guess?
I suppose, like any nursery, really, you get those that come because you're the nearest. They come because you're nearest to their child's school, all those reasons. But we then have people that will travel 30 minutes each way to get to us,
Right.
because they seek us out. So those are the people who want their children to have an outdoor nature-based lifestyle. I think we're lucky in Cornwall. We've got quite a lot of creatives, a lot of artisan, small businesses. You know, Cornwall is not a hugely corporate county, and there are a lot of small cottage industries, lots of artists, lots of self-employed work, and those people tend to really love us because it matches their lifestyle. Since COVID, actually, that was quite interesting. We became a bit of a choice for people who were leaving the cities. Cornwall became the place to live during COVID, for the obvious reasons, and house prices went mad for a little while because everybody wanted one. I actually considered selling my house at the time, put it on the market, and we had 9 offers over the asking price within a week.
Wow.
We didn't sell, we didn't find anywhere we wanted, but yeah, that's what it went like. And those people were seeking us out because we were offering the alternative, the well-being, the unhurried. I like to call us unhurried.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. You know, the approach which I guess the perception people have got, right, about Cornwall in particular, and perception people have got about I guess settings like yours in terms of, you know, being different. I think the perception is very much a case of, oh, you're only going to appeal to a small amount of people. You know, Cornwall's not a big place. You know, there's not everyone goes on holiday there. People don't live there. You know, it is one of those things that I've heard, right? And I'm not saying, you know, that's kind of just me, what I've heard. It's not.
I'll put you right on that one.
It's not true. But Mandy, I guess, you know, being in that position and having, and I guess having that sort of people's perceptions of Cornwall and people's perceptions of potentially the settings you run. I mean, do you find that locally you're building communities, or are you finding that actually the communities are finding you? I mean, which way around is it? Are you helping the communities, or are communities kind of seeking you and seeking you?
It is a bit of both, but I would hope it was us helping the communities. That would be what I set out to do. Going back to what Cornwall's like, people don't realise that Cornwall is one of the most deprived areas in the country. The deprivation levels are high. In the days of the children's centres, we were in the first batch of areas to get children's centres. I used to work in them at the time. So there's a lot of poverty, there's a lot of unemployment because there aren't the big industries, and there is a lot of deprivation. So for me, the starting point was always to appeal to those families. I wanted to offer what was right for the local area, and what was right for all children. I'm hugely inclusive. Never say no to a child, no matter what. Never say no to a family. We'll bend over backwards to provide what people need, while still maintaining a business. I used to be too soft, and I got myself a business advisor because I'm really good at childcare. I'm really good at educating children, not very good at the business side. So I got help, and he said, it's all right being kind and keep offering everybody all this for nothing, but when you run out of money, you'll have nothing to offer anybody. And that turned my understanding, so I became more financially aware. Still not the best at it, but I employ somebody who does it now for me because it's easier that way. But yeah, we appeal to all sorts, and we'll have absolutely anybody come who wants to be with us.
Good. And I guess the message then for those that operate in other areas, and this is, you know, we work with a lot. I mean, at Chalk and Martin, we work with a lot of nursery providers around the country. We work in providers which are in heavy areas of deprivation versus those that are in really affluent areas, and it's a complete contrast between the two. I mean, do you have any advice for those that are in those areas potentially of deprivation at the moment and struggling to attract parents to them? Is there anything that you would suggest that they could do differently to try and help the community further, or is it very difficult because obviously it's different, I guess, in different areas?
I think it's not difficult if it's what you believe. To me, what I offer sounds a bit twee, but it genuinely comes from the heart.
Yeah.
And the thing we did that made the biggest difference to the business was we agreed our core values.
Right.
We agreed the bits that I would go to the wall for and I would fight to the death for, and I will protect those. And once I got those embedded in me, somebody said to me once, it's like if you were a stick of rock, you know, being by the seaside, we still have sticks of rock, and they cut you open. What would those words say around your middle?
Mm-hmm.
And that really resonated with me. So I thought really hard what was around my middle and what will I always stand by. So when I got them straight in my head, my job was to help my management team to come in along with me. We've tweaked them over time because we all have to own them. It's not just about me, but we all believe those. And once you believe those, then every single thing we do, every decision, without a shadow of a doubt, every single decision that is made every day, from the smallest decision about, I don't know, nappy changing to what we eat for dinner, pay that people receive, HR decisions, all those things follow the same values.
Wow.
And they're embedded into our contracts.
Yeah.
And it's embedded into people's job descriptions.
Wow.
And that is what keeps us all on the same path, because it's consistency. Every day, every single member of the staff knows that we all expect the same. And I also empower every member of staff to challenge any of us if those things aren't in place. Challenge each other, challenge us, because if you ignore something, if you walk past something that doesn't quite sit right with you, you might as well have condoned it. So I don't walk past anything. I'm not horrible about it, but if I see something that's not quite of our values and of our core belief, I will stop and chat to the member of staff and explain why. That's all. Just explain why and why it matters, and I always give them the reason why it matters, and then they don't do it again.
No, it's brilliant.
Because they learn, and I learn. We all learn every day. It's always about learning, and sometimes I get things wrong, and my team can tell me, and that's cool.
We all do, don't we?
Yeah, and also, if I walk past something that's wonderful, I don't forget to tell them that as well.
Yeah, you've got to look at the positives and the negatives.
Absolutely. So that's a long way, and I haven't really answered the question there. But we set our values, and what I believed in is I think all children deserve the best in life. And I want to offer all children, no matter what their background, is something to aspire to. So our nurseries are beautiful. They look beautiful. That doesn't mean to say they cost any more than anybody else, but I put a lot of effort and emphasis on what things look like, because I want the children to feel surrounded with beauty. Because sometimes where they're living, maybe not very beautiful. Quite a lot of poverty. They haven't got lovely things, but everybody deserves to have something lovely in their life. And it's as simple as picking some wildflowers when I walk along the hedgerows and putting them in a vase on the dinner table. It makes the children feel special. They feel valued. We lay the tables like you would in a restaurant. That doesn't cost any more money.
No.
And
thought, isn't it, that goes into it?
It's the thought. There's a lot of work goes on in the background to get the tiniest of details right. And just so visually, aesthetically, they feel like a beautiful place. And children and staff who might be coming into work or into nursery from a stressful home life should be able to walk in and go, this feels good. Simple things like we burn lavender oil. So when you walk in, it smells of lavender, not of pooey nappies. But it's about that. It's about offering people something more than you would normally expect. It's like the feeling we all get if we go to a nice hotel that's maybe a little bit out of our price range, and we go, oh, I wish I could live like this every day. But we can't. But you can do little things.
Yeah. No, I guess that's a big message, because empowering your team, which is one thing, and this actually, I've had 2 webinars in the last 2 weeks that I've been on. The one thing that's been said, and the one common message is speak to your team. Work with your team, embed your core values with your team, and if your team don't like your core values, potentially they're in the wrong place.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's not for everybody. That's the other thing that people have got to realise, that yes, it's hard to recruit in early years in some areas, but at the same time, you don't just want to recruit anybody, because you've got to try and build that team, and that empowered team with your core values, in order for them to deliver what you want to deliver, your mission, what your vision, and your vision, and your ethos. Everything is built around what it is that you want to achieve. And if they're not empowered, and they don't feel like they're on board with that, the chances are what they're going to deliver versus what you want to deliver is going to be completely different. So I guess when you're doing your walk arounds, you're probably seeing, that's not quite right, and you're addressing it there and then, which is brilliant. And I know a lot of nursery owners don't do that. A lot of nursery owners will just say, I trust in what they do, and I hope they just do it, which I guess can work, but at the same time,
I do trust. I absolutely do trust. And I'm not in there every day, and I'm not overpowering and overbearing at all. But I think they like it when I turn up.
Yeah, of course. Because you're going around just spreading energy, aren't you? So positive energy.
They like it when I come in. They enjoy my visits. They enjoy any of the senior team coming in, because we're in to help.
Yeah.
I've spent Tuesday this week in ratio running the nursery, because one of the managers was off on leave. So it's our newest nursery, so our ethos isn't 100% embedded yet. So I didn't want to leave them on their own. So I spent the day there, and we had a great day.
Yeah. Well, we used to find with our nurseries that when the senior team came, they'd actually like it, because they felt special. They felt like, actually, the senior teams come to visit us. It's brilliant.
Yeah. And they want to show off. They love showing off what they've done.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, obviously, team empowerment being a massive key area, and then the second thing is, developing your, setting, or your nursery to being what you want it to be, and that can be different depending on what
absolutely you're looking at. I think the people call it the USP. What you're trying to sell. I've never actually thought about what I'm trying to sell. I thought about it, I know you come from a background where what you're trying to sell is really important. This has been a little bit accidental in that it has worked. The nurseries are oversubscribed. I can't fit any more children in. I'm just moving one nursery around a bit to try and create a bit more space, because we're inundated this year with babies. But then, it's making what you do yours, sticking to it, making being proud of what you do, and being able to tell people, I do it because of this, no matter what it looks like. And any nursery can be outstanding. It doesn't matter what it looks like, what resources you use. It's the passion behind and the belief behind why you're doing it. That's what I feel. So I've known in previous lives, I've worked as a local authority advisor, and I saw nurseries that were all different, but the outstanding ones shone through because of the leadership and the values that underpin them, no matter what they look like.
No, and that's a really powerful message, and the way in which we see it, from a marketing point of view, and the way in which potentially a lot of day nursery owners and a lot of people that are going through courses and going through business courses, especially, and potentially even marketing courses, you'll be ingrained into the product, price, place, and promotion, which are the 4 P's of marketing, right? And I hate them. I hate every single one of those. I hate. I work on what's called the 4 E's principle, which is experience, exchange, every place, and evangelism. And I believe, from my point of view, I believe that those 4 things are actually more, aligned with early years and more aligned with service-based businesses, because you're not just focusing on how much you cost versus others, because actually price at the end of the day, okay, it does matter, but why does it matter to the extent of, I want to be cheaper than that nursery, I want to be cheaper than that one. You don't need to look at it that way. If you're shining through with something completely different and you're giving a different experience, you're helping local communities with that experience, you're delivering positive interactions, you're creating something memorable.
Yes.
That's the way I see that particular thing. It's best price. What's the experience you're doing? You can price yourself however you want if you're delivering experience that matches what you're pricing yourself at.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree with that. We're the most expensive in the area. I don't apologise for that because I believe you get what it's worth.
And you're oversubscribed.
I'm oversubscribed. Having said that, I said we are inclusive.
Yeah.
If children are on deprivation funding, 2-year-old, the old 2-year-old funding, any level of deprivation, they get it for nothing. They just use their funding. So that is just part of our value statement, that no child will miss out because they can't afford it.
Yeah.
But those who can afford it pay their bit towards it, and those little bits of consumable fees go towards helping, and the fact that our prices per day slightly more than other neighbouring nurseries, that's okay. And people choose. Parents are making a decision for the most valuable thing in their life. They're putting their child in your care, and I want them to feel that what they're paying for is going to be worth it for them. If it's not, that's when it's a problem. That's when I would step in, because it has to be worth the money.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. And any nursery owner that's kind of listening now, for their benefit, obviously you say you're oversubscribed, and that's a brilliant place to be. But how do you, I guess, promote yourself? How do you get that visibility? In my case, how do you become in that every place? Where you're omnipresent. You're building such a reputation potentially that you're everywhere. And your customers are everywhere. How are you building that as that?
I think for us, the biggest thing is word of mouth.
Yeah.
The best thing to sell us is happy people.
Yeah.
And I always say to the team, you are only as good as the last person that walked out of this building. So if the last person that walked out was unhappy, they are going to go home and they're going to tell all their friends what a miserable day they've had. But if they've gone out of here really happy and their child's really happy, they're going to tell their friends it's great.
Yeah.
And most of our inquiries come from word of mouth.
Yeah.
Some come from, obviously, internet searching, but most come from word of mouth. No,
that's brilliant. I think it's one of those things that a lot of owners have, and a lot of people that I've spoken to, and I keep saying owners, but it's managers as well, people I've spoken to, is that word of mouth is dying, and that's, in some areas that is actually a concern, that people are not getting involved in the community as much, don't have as many contacts as they had previously, and they're actually not talking as much to other people. But when we look at it, it's kind of one of those things where you look at a nursery which is performing really well, as example, they've just had, Ofsted outstanding, the staff are empowered, everything's going well for them. You actually find that word of mouth is stronger in those settings. And I'm not saying it's just the difference between Ofsted in terms of good and outside. No. You can have a very happy nursery that's good, even have a very happy nursery that's inadequate. There's no link between that. But the big thing is that in terms of response, I think happy staff leads to happy children leads to happy parents, and then happy parents leads to word of mouth growth, which is
absolutely the staff are the most important thing you have anyway.
Yeah,
they're your biggest cost, but they are your best resource.
Yeah,
and they make the difference.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely make the difference, and we value our staff hugely. From the simple things, their uniform. They had a say in what their uniform looked like. Surprisingly, we didn't want to logo any uniform. We thought nobody wants to walk around with some great logo on their chest. We had a survey. They wanted logos on theirs, so we bought logos for that. We got their t-shirts logoed.
Nice.
Their t-shirts, we give them a choice of colours. They're very basics, just an ordinary t-shirt, nothing sort of to typically nursery. We allow them to wear sort of jeans or dungarees or shorts with their tops. Simple things like that make a difference. They feel comfortable coming to work because they can express their personality by changing up their uniform a little bit. They don't all have to look the same. And we have some right quirky staff because obviously being a bit of a forest and outdoor place as well, that does get individuals who are slightly not your normal nursery educator. But we buy in them treats, like, for example, my little cup here, all staff have just got these really lovely cups. Now, these aren't cheap, but we bought them all one of these and a water bottle so they can have them on the floor and have coffee, and they can safely drink coffee or tea in the room. We have really beautiful coffee machines in all staff rooms. That's Tom, my son. He's a mad coffee drinker. So he said he couldn't cope with the day without coffee, so why should they? So they all have these lovely coffee machines. We fill the staff room with really nice treats that they probably wouldn't buy themselves. And then the big thing is we decided to become a real living wage employer.
Okay.
So everybody from the age of 17 upwards is a real living wage as a minimum, even if they're an apprentice.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
So the only people that aren't are your under 17s who can't be in ratio.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic, and I think there's, again, it links back to that team empowerment and that team respect, because again, and unfortunately I can't name names, but a nursery I spoke to, it was only Monday I spoke to them. And they said to me about branding, because they're rebranding, they need a new uniform and everything else. They said, yeah, what uniform do we go for? Yeah, the staff are actually pushing for this designer polo shirt. I said, okay, but that's what the staff want. How much is this designer polo shirt they're asking for? Because there's obviously a reason why they're asking for it. Yeah, it might be nice. There might be a nice material. I don't know, but why? And also, what's the cost? Oh, it's £30 a t-shirt versus £5 is what you were spending before. But they're moaning that the £5 ones were uncomfortable and they sweated through them and so on throughout the day. And I said, well, surely I know it's a big cost difference between the two, but the team are going to be far more comfortable, happy delivering that designer t-shirt. I know it's a designer t-shirt and it may still be, too expensive, but there may be an alternative in between as well. But ask them, what the reason, like if there's a reason why, other than those two core things, and give them something.
It worked so well for us. We couldn't believe the results of this recent survey, and we asked them about pay as well. Do you want to be a real living wage employer? Would you this year, when we redo the pay, do you want individuals to be have paid more for the work they've done, or do you want it fair across the business? All sorts of questions about how they thought the pay structure should go. And we listened to that response. What little thing could we do to make your working day better? All the little things. And we don't do it just for the sake of it. We listen to the responses, and then we always have a whole Teams meeting that everybody can come on board, and we feed back the responses. So they hear the responses, and then we tell them what we've done to address that.
So you don't just say it, you actually do it.
No, we do it. Which
is the best thing.
Yeah, if you say it and don't do it.
Well, and there are people out there and businesses out there that I know straight away. I can't name names, but I know that happens. They say all these lovely things, and actually none of them materialize.
None of them happen. That's just pointless. It's just like a complete own goal. Then why would you do that? But our uniforms, they are a little bit more expensive. The t-shirts we buy from a local company, and they're organic and sustainable because that meets our ethos. Again, the choice of colour they love, because I don't care what colour they're in. I just care what job they do. It is nice to see them, but I was so happy when they said they wanted a logo on, because to me I thought they don't need that, but they needed it. They were proud of where they worked. So that's a nice thing. And then little things like parties. Last weekend we had our summer festival.
I saw that. That was all over.
Being naturally learning, of course,
Facebook.
we did it outside.
Yeah.
We were on a campsite. We bought pizzas and drinks all day for everybody. We did all nearly get blown into the sea because of the weather. It was awful. But we stuck it out.
But
We had
embrace
the
it.
best day. And the staff all got involved in planning it. So some of them were musicians, so they did a little musical set. Some of them brought their partners in who did a musical set.
Yeah.
Other people set up like crafting stalls. They were making friendship bracelets. They were making dream catchers, flower crowns. But the staff just led it, really.
Yeah.
We put the money in and they just loved it. We had the best day, apart from the weather. It was wonderful.
Wow. So anybody that's listening to the session, I mean, if you haven't watched the full session, you've skipped through, rewind 10 minutes and watch it from the last 10 minutes, because Mandy has just given all of you the biggest amount of empowerment that you can drive through from this session through into your teams, all the way down to the level of apprentice and all the way up. And I think it's fantastic, Mandy. Thank you.
Yeah, well, no one member of the team is more important than the others, including me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We are genuinely all on a level, and I'm not too proud to change a nappy or clean a toilet.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I think you've got to, though, haven't you? You've got to show. You've got to lead.
Lead by example.
You're a leader, and that's the key. So I'm conscious on time, and I realise we've probably overrun a little bit. So apologies for that, Mandy. But before we wrap up, if you don't mind, I mean, you've obviously got your Cornish conference coming up soon.
Yes.
And I think it would be very beneficial for everybody listening now, everybody listening on replay or listening on Spotify to the podcast, to just give them a brief about what the Cornish conference is going to be all about. How can they get tickets, and really what it is, because I think a lot of people have probably seen it and been like, oh, that sounds good. It's a very long way away for me. So why should I go? I think right.
Okay, so empowering people is, as you can tell, is one of my absolute passions. I'm a teacher by trade. I've always been a teacher, and I can't get that out of my psyche. That is me. And I want to pass on to future generations the passion I've always felt for early years. But this conference is not about me. I'm just involved in bringing it together. It's not about naturally learning, which is why we've set up the Cornish Early Childhood, because I don't want people to think this is naturally learning, getting rich on bringing other people in. It's absolutely not about that. This is actually a collaboration. I reached out to Happy Days Day Nurseries, who are the biggest chain group provider in Cornwall, and they agreed to come on board with me to help us organising it. So in the background, there's a team of naturally learning staff and a team of Happy Days Nurseries staff working together, collaborating, which is lovely, because one of our nurseries is 2 doors away from one of their nurseries, and yet we're still friends.
Yeah, working
because
together.
That's what it should be like. So we're all working together. They're fantastic at their marketing team. They're putting stuff out for us, and we're sharing ideas of who we can invite. So basically, as you said earlier, you said I was popular. I'm not some sort of celebrity, but I do talk to anyone, and I love people, and I love networking. So I reached out to everybody I knew and said, come to Cornwall, come and talk, share what you do, because I go everywhere, because I think you learn by going and listening and seeing other people. So I go to any event that's on offer, if I can get there, and I've learned a lot. But I notice that a lot of people in Cornwall don't tend to go out of county much, because it's a long way, it's expensive, and we can't always justify that. So I was reaching out to people I knew could make a difference to their nurseries here, and said, bring your message to Cornwall, because we need it. But it also is not just for Cornwall, because we have got the most incredible speakers. I'm actually so excited to listen to them all. And we've got incredible suppliers coming down. I actually can't believe all these people have said yes to me. And we have got people coming from all over the country to the event, paying to come. We've deliberately kept it affordable. It's only £30. you can't get any conference for that price. It's affordable because I've reached out to people to help me make it affordable by sponsoring different things. It's going to be like a party. It's not going to be, you will all go away learning, but it's going to have a real proper party vibe. The venue's beautiful. There's gorgeous outdoor spaces. If the weather's lovely, we'll be out and about in the grounds. There's Cornish pasties, there's Cornish cream teas, and there's local Cornish fizz all coming.
Well, you've sold it to me on just that little bit, man.
I know, exactly. Absolutely love the day's going to be really relaxed. There's so many workshops that you can tailor the day to meet your needs. So you don't have to listen to somebody talk you're not interested in. There'll be another workshop on at the same time. It's for leaders, owners. There's a leadership lounge. Well, there'll be lots of people talking about things that matter to the managers and the owners, right to the apprentices and the room leads and the educators who want to learn about pedagogy, about curriculum, about technology in the workplace, about forest school, you name it, we've got someone there doing it. And some of the people are just incredibly funny and just great fun. It's going to be gorgeous. And on the Friday night, we're going to have a beach party as well. If anybody's staying over, we're going to invite everybody to the beach and have a beach party. Sea swimming is optional. Nobody will be judged if they don't want to see swim.
I'll go for a little dip.
Yeah, and it really is going to be incredible, and I'm hugely excited about it. It's going to be a fun day.
Yeah, it's out.
Oh, I forgot to add as well, sorry. As I said, it's not about the money and it's not about naturally learning. So, as I said, we're Marmite, and some people might think, oh, I don't even like it, or I'm not coming. It's not about me. I'm hardly doing anything. I might be part of one workshop. And if there is a profit, I'm not sure there's going to be, because these things are very expensive.
Very tough.
But if there's a profit, it is going to be going to the Children's Hospice Southwest, because Happy Days and us, it's our chosen charity, because it's just down the road from us, and it's really wonderful, wonderful place. Heartbreaking, but wonderfully amazing what these guys do. So any profit will go to those, and they're coming along as well with a free stand to try and promote the need in the Southwest for having a hospice. Brilliant. So it is all in a good cause, and it's going to be fun and so educational.
It sounds incredible. I think, anybody that was on the fence about coming, I mean, it's £30 a day, right?
It's £30, and you get a day or two if you want to in Cornwall, because it's on over the 2 days. You don't have to do both. If you do both, there'll be enough to do to have 2 completely different days. But it is going to be incredible. I'm really, really excited.
It sounds fantastic. And anybody that I guess wants to get a ticket, they can visit is it cornishearlychildhood.co.uk?
Yes, and there's a link on there to the Eventbrite where you can buy your tickets.
So if we click book now, I believe it takes us straight through to the.
It should do if the technology works. There we go. Look at me being high tech.
There we go. See all of the agenda, and then also you can buy the tickets, which is brilliant. So anybody,
as I said, you tailor your day to suit what you need.
Yeah.
So if you go with a colleague, you can both have completely different days.
Wow. It sounds incredible. It sounds incredible. I think
it has been a lot of work, so I do hope somebody comes.
I think a lot of events you go to, you're kind of not, I wouldn't say forced into one room, but you kind of are a little bit. You're in that one room all day, and you don't really have a chance to experience anything else. I think the biggest problem with a lot of the events is that because they are around the country in hotels, it's really difficult to do anything different.
Yeah.
And from what it sounds, the beach party on the Friday, I mean, that just sounds incredible in itself.
Yeah.
So
and we've got a barn. There's things going on in the barn as well. The leadership lounge, the play barn, and also I forgot this is a bingo game. This is the best thing. I'm really excited about the bingo game. So I'm asking people to donate some prizes for my bingo game. I'm reaching out to some of my lovely suppliers, and I was offered £500 this morning, free training for one of the suppliers that are coming. They're offering £500 worth of first aid training to a nursery. And to win the money, or to win the other prizes, there's a bingo game. So everybody will get a bingo card, because I know there's a lot of suppliers coming, and you guys are coming, which I'm so excited about.
Yeah.
And you're giving your money and time to support this for me. So what I want is that you get something out of it. You get to meet people. So the suppliers will get to meet everybody, because everybody will have a bingo card with all the suppliers' names on. And you have to go and meet this person to get your card stamped. And when you've got all your bingo stamped, that will go into the prize draw.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Everybody will get to meet everybody. If you want to, win something, you've got to go and talk to everybody.
That's brilliant. It's a brilliant idea.
This is about networking. I don't want anybody to feel lonely. You come along, it's a party, and there's a game to get you introduced to everybody.
And the suppliers can control the stamps, I guess.
Absolutely. You'll be in control of your own stamp then. You'll have the power. We won't give the power to Nigel. He might be too free with his stamping. He will be. He will be.
No, that sounds fantastic, and a great way to engage, suppliers to people.
Yeah, it's about meeting people, because it's a lonely old business. And if we don't talk to others, we feel a little bit lost and alone. So let's all make friends.
No, definitely. That sounds brilliant. And if you are a supplier thinking, is there still availability for suppliers? Or
honestly, this place is so huge. I could fill it 10 times over. The barn itself, we could. It's fabulous. Brilliant.
So if you're a supplier that's interested, how do they get in touch with you? How do they?
They can. The best email is info@cornishearlychildhood.co.uk.
Okay, perfect. And we'll after this session, anybody that signed up to our newsletter, we obviously email out the session, and also we'll email out the details. So any
thank you.
Want to book can email you directly and book on.
I've got a nice list of little hotels you can stay in. Some of them are nicely cheap, and others are very gorgeous if you want to make a holiday of it.
Very nice. Very nice. So before we wrap up, have you got any closing words for anybody that's listening? Obviously we've covered a lot about empowerment in your team. We've covered a lot about building, I guess, building yourselves in terms of with your ethos and with your core values. Is there any other snippets or anything else you can give to the audience?
Gosh, I think really it's just about create and believe in you.
Brilliant.
Do what you want to do. Enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, for goodness sake, go and do something else, because it's the most difficult job in the world. But if you enjoy it, it can be amazing, and create something that matters to you. Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mandy.
Thank you so much.
And anybody that's listening, as always, you can sign up. You can subscribe on our Spotify. You can sign up to our newsletter, and you can get all of the marketing tips, business tips, and all of the recordings of all of the sessions that we're doing over the next 6 months, which is 100 sessions over a 6-month period of time. And all we want to do for you is deliver you as much value as possible. And I hope today, from Mandy, I've certainly got the value. So I hope everybody listening has also got plenty of value as well, and lots of takeaways from today. So thank you all for listening, and I wish you all a pleasant day or a pleasant evening if you're watching this in the afternoon.